G'day guys, Brisbane brothers here,
Aussie.
and Dan's.
Got a cool one today guys, 1971 Ranchero that we've come out, done a quick engine swap on. Check this beast out. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe guys.
If you over tighten them, they're like put in around the bolts.
Oh, okay.
There's a gaskets over here at hip, so for a lot of exhaust shops they put like an air tool on there, they're like,
Yeah.
like a recon thing for like bolts. And they munge them, they'll never see it, because they've actually like...
No, you told it, like, yeah, like, sort of,
It's like you got a really
Very
soft
cool
covers, and
ute
then
here today guys.
You can never go back to get the before scene, you only get it before. We've learned.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we wish we got a little scene before, eh?
yeah. Oh, hey, come here, buddy.
Very nice. Just quickly turning it on for a second before we rip in and do the conversion. You don't want to get it too hot, but yeah, nice. That sounds sweet.
Yeah, quite often we just rip in and then like you can't go back
Yeah,
to get
and
the
you're like-
footage at all.
Just to know, so everything is working. That's great. We'll disconnect the battery and tear in. Check this out guys, bit of an unusual one. Water pump bearing on the impellers just completely flogged out. Haven't seen that before. Alrighty, we're just ripping in. We've got a beautiful Ranchero ute here we're working on today. We've got a 302 Windsor coming out with a C4 behind it. We've got this bad boy here going in. Gonna get as much work as we can done today. Start to prep this bad boy up and come back and get it in, get it fired up.
When I was younger, into Fords, and I like, you know, got my understanding here at the Australian Fords and XYs and stuff. I thought, I'm gonna get a Ranchero, that'll be me, fully. I've had my own one of these for years, but you just can't own them all guys. We've got a few old cars. They're really unique, really cool things.
It's actually the same grill as a
like a
Torino on
sports
here.
ute.
It's unreal. Very cool.
No, pickup, so to say.
Very
Pickup
cool.
truck, mini pickup.
Alright guys, what goodies have we got over here? We've got the Aeroflow adjustable timing pointer for the old 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock orientation. We've got a Edelbrock AVS2 carby, nice, 500 CFM, very wise choice. That will be a fantastic carby for that new little Windsor over there. We've got a couple of gauges to go in. We'll probably wire those up next time we come out. What have we got here? Some Felpro sticky gaskets, some instructions for the carby, a couple of spare parts, ball stud, vacuum tee, 1-inch phenolic spacer from Summit with studs. That's nice. Got a high torque starter motor in there, MSD coil. What have we got here? Ford Racing leads, nice. 9mm. We've got a polished chrome water pump, 70 post 70 outlet over to the driver's side on left-hand drive cars. Under here, brand new Edelbrock intake, Performer 2121, new alternator there, new thermostat housing here, ARP studs, ARP intake bolts, oil filter adapter, got a little bevel on the end there. You can key those in with a little bit of thread tape so that you can get your centre in between the fuel pump and the block. It's a bit unusual on the Windsors. And we've got some Gilmer and a nice Aeroflow filter here. Nice, just want to get a bit of footage of those goodies before we rip in, start slapping some of this shit together. Alright guys, this is how you reef an engine out in like 3 hours. It's coming out real good, eh? Little 302. I get why everyone loves these Windsors, they basically work on themselves. You just
pull it back a little bit more, the crane.
yeah, you can. Yep, you can go about 6 inches before it misses that oil drainage tree. It'll probably stop there. It's just raining a bit more still.
Instead of coming back, it went this way.
Yep, that's alright.
Just stopped raining. Yep, fuck yeah, not to get the fluid out.
Nice. Let's ditch his camera. Check this out, guys. Chucked a set of convos on the Ranchero since we were out last. They look sweet. Look at these. Oosh. Beautiful. Got the radials on it. Very nice. When the engine came out, there was quite a bit of mess under the bonnet here. Didn't look very clean, so he suggested while the box was getting rebuilt that he put a bit of effort in cleaning it up to get slightly better results when we come to fitting the engine and the box back in. So that looks fantastic. That's come up quite nice all around the firewall and that. Got the C4 over here. It's been fully rebuilt by a mate of his with a few goodies. It's got the locking dipstick, brand new modulator, high stall converter, nice and small. Over here, guys, we've got the engine fully rebuilt, 302 Windsor, very nice unit. The heads have been ported a bit. It's got a small cam. It's going to have a heap of goodies going on it. It's got the scat harmonic balancer. Yeah, quite a nice little motor, this one. When we primed up the oil the other day, had a little bit of a leak out of the Welsh plug at the back here, so we've just knocked that out. We're going to put in a brass one, get that sorted, and then start throwing the engine back together. Yeah, guys, when we primed up the oil here the other day on this rebuilt engine, the Welsh plug was leaking at the back. We put a scene in. It was a steel Welsh plug. Steel Welsh plugs are never a very good idea. You want to use brass where you can, so they actually expand into the block. I've had a bit of a look in there to make sure there's no dingles. Why it was pissing out on the side, it must have been incorrectly installed, because the bottom had a little round witness mark and on the part number it said PC for ProComp. So they were a dodgy set of Welsh plugs used to begin with. But anyway, the trick to putting one in, getting one out, I just used a flat steel screwdriver. I hit into one corner and I put a little bit of a mark there, and then into that one corner you can go through the hole and you can just gently lever it out, making sure you don't scratch any of the steel. If you can't get it out with a screwdriver, say it's a stubborn brass one, you can just screw a hole through the middle, put a screw in it and get like vice grips or something on there and sort of lever it out that way too. The way to put it in, we've found here a 10mm socket, a elusive 10mm from Aldi. Don't even know where that's come from, guys, but it's in the collection, so we'll run with it. It's a nice fit in there. What you want to do is find a socket that's not going to interfere with that bevel, with that curve. If it's too big, it can start to actually deform the shape of the Welsh plug on the inside there. It's got to have that bit of room around it like that, where it's sitting on the flat of the plug, not on the curve. See, if you curve it, it's actually kicking it off in relation, like, look at this. Like on the curve, it's not straight. Anyway, put that there. If you're really worried, you could put some aviation sealant or something on. I'm just going to hit this one in dry, and then we'll re-prime the oiling system. Get this in the middle so it's not on the curve, get it straight. That's bottomed out. Nice. Hasn't deformed it. Give it one last love tap for good measure. Done. Okay, so what we'll do quickly, I'll go and get the 1/4" socket set. Whenever you're priming oil, make sure you electrical tape your sockets and extensions together. The last thing you want to do is drop a socket in the motor and have to undo a sump gasket and lose $35 on a gasket and an hour and a half of work. Alright guys, so a little thing I was going to point out here. The Windsors have this pretty cool little adapter for this oil center. If you go to an aftermarket gauge, that's going to give you like a pressure reading instead of a warning light. You can grab this little doobie here and it'll offset it so you can fit it in between the fuel pump, and it's got this little angle bevel on the end here. Very cool little piece. That particular one's from Aeroflow. Alrighty, I'm gonna reprime this up now. You give that a spin counterclockwise. I'm just gonna watch this one little Welsh plug on the back here. So we can see it's starting to prime up, the oil's filling up in the lifter valley here, and it'll start coming up some of the push rods. So before you turn an engine on for the first time, you want to see that it's priming up like this, everything filling up. And once we got full pressure up in the engine, last time we were here, it was piecing out of the back here of this Welsh plug so bad, like puddling out. That looks good.
You got it, bro. It's sweet.
Looks like we got it.
Very good oil flow too, guys. It's flowing very nice each rocker.
You see here, full of oil, full of oil.
This motor will live happily.
It's very nice. Look at that dripping off. Beautiful. And over on this side, we'll have a quick look.
Yep, just pull it up a little bit. Have to slow down.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Something I was going to mention quickly too, guys. Something really smart that saved a lot of time on this job. It fitted the new extractors to the old engine. So what that saves is the trouble of starting an engine straight out the headers, which will sound awesome, but you can't hear if there's anything going on wrong with the lash or with the rocker geometry or anything. So he's fitted the new set of pipes into the car and had them mated up to the old system. So before we've removed that old 302 there, the exhaust system was leaked. We knew we could come out, pull that engine out, swap the engine over, put it straight back in, turn it on, break it in, and have a full-length exhaust system on the car so we can actually hear what's going on. This is something that's quite often overlooked. It's something you can't do if you're going from a 6-cylinder to a V8 because you won't have a shitty old exhaust system around. You'll just have a set of new extractors. And although you can do it and break the engine in straight open header, it's probably not the best thing in the world. If something's wrong, you're not going to hear it. You won't know till it's too late. So that's a good little tip there. That was sick. Great planning there. Alright guys, so Danzy's just connecting the battery. We had a hell of a time with this one, putting the mechanical fan onto the Gilmer. Not a lot of room though, it's a bit dicky. Might be something we look at upgrading later. But check this out. How fucking good does this look? Nice. So this is a brand new, fully reconditioned engine here with a nice little crow cam in it. It's got a set of extractors, Edelbrock intake, Edelbrock AVS carby, brand new. We've got one of these imported billet dizzies from the States. High voltage with an MSC blaster coil. We've got Ford Racing leads. They were pretty sick. Haven't used Ford Racing leads for a while. We did have a couple of little issues here that caught us out, guys. One of the issues was the bolts in the head had a smaller thread than this old engine over here. Believe it or not, we couldn't actually bolt the power steering pump into the head here. So this is like I think a 5/8 UNC, and the bolt on there was like smaller than that. We ended up having to get a bit creative with some washers and stuff, but we've made it work. And yeah, interesting bit of trivia on these early Windsors. They've got the same alternator bracket set as a Cleveland. So instead of undoing these, that bolt's a bit seized. We just brought another set in for him. So this is what's come out. Chuck this bad boy in. Everything went very smoothly. While the engine was out, we took the engine and the box out. The box looked a little bit sad. She was a bit oily and greasy, so we suggested on how it looked, maybe getting it freshened, which the guy's gone and done, so that was sick. Box came up real nice. Might have got some footage of that last time. It's got the locking dipstick on it. Ready to go. We'll crank it on, break it in, have it on for about 10 minutes, and then try and get a bit of idle into it.
A little tip for you guys.
We've already had it on for 10, that's why it just needs another 10.
Braking, you can get everything pre-checked, but you always want to have extra battery capacity, or a spare battery or something, because you're going to be, like, there's a lot of severe duty on the battery, breaking the engine in, turning it on for the first time, so something just to
be mindful
keep
of.
in mind. You want to make sure you got a bit of juice to spare.
We do suggest a brand new battery with a brand new engine, but not everyone wants to drop that $300 extra when you've already spent all the money on every little gadget. But it does save a little bit heartache. Alrighty, What
The
do you say?
mechanical fan's working sweet, bro. It's keeping it so cool on the break-in. Normally on the break-in with a small cam, you're limited by the heat and you've got to do it in stages, but so far so good. It was so good we actually shut it off just to check for leaks and that, but it was mint. It felt so smooth. It's a beautiful
Check
engine.
out these front end guys. It's the same as the old Torino. It's got the GD badge there. Sick. Awesome front end. Tough as. Right, give it a kick, bro.
Been a labour of love, this thing. Once we get involved in something, guys, we will see it through no matter what happens, because we're actually invested. We do this with a passion. So we came here, guys, to an engine swap. We ended up doing a few upgrades. The guy got the C4 fully reconditioned, and she's in now, guys.
Hit the key, bro. Let's have a bit of a listen to this goodness.
How do I do an intro, bro, without stuffing it?
71 Ranchero. Man, we got a few there and they're probably...
These guys. XY.
Oi.
I'm jumping into an XY.
Nice.
Jumping into an XY. No, God, this is classier than any Australian car. American Ranchero. Right, let's see this beautiful Windsor.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Just turn that curb idle down just a little bit. Sounds beautiful.
Very nice idle. Not much to do now, guys. Just got to get the bonnet back on.
Make sure you smash it, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, guys.